Welcome, class of 2026, to our course selection presentation. Today, we will talk about picking your classes for senior year so that you are aware of all deadlines and all prerequisites that you need to pick the classes that you want to take for your senior year. So, a little bit about the scheduling process overall. Our updated program of studies is available online on our HTTPS website. Your teachers have until February 7th to enter all recommendations. Then you have from February 14th to February 21st to enter any elective course selections in the parent portal. Students must pick 10 electives and rank them. During the week of February 24th to March 14th, your school counselors will be holding individual meetings to discuss your choices. So this is after you have entered your courses into the portal. We will then meet with you to discuss those selections. On May 1st, your teachers will be able to update their recommendations. So keep that day in mind. And the deadline for any course request changes from you is May 2nd. So May 2nd is the last day that you can change any of your course selections. June 1st is the option 2 application deadline, which we'll talk about later on in this presentation. And we just want you to understand that these are just requests. It is not a guarantee that this will be the actual courses that you will take for senior year, which is why we want you to pick 10 electives and rank them so that you have the best chance of getting the schedule that you want for your senior year. This is a list of all of our Hillsborough High School counselors. Take a look at the last names attached for each counselor. And you guys are rising seniors. You know where to find us. So a little bit about graduation requirements. This is a list of all of the requirements needed to graduate from high school here in New Jersey. You need 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 3 years of a science. Biology has to be one of those with 2 other choices. 3 years of social studies, which includes world history, U.S. History 1 and U.S. History 2. 1 year of a world language, though if you are going to college, we recommend anywhere from 2 to 4 years of the same language. 1 year, which is 5 credits of fine, visual, or performing arts elective. 1 year, 5 credits of career electives. A half of year, or 2.5 credits of financial literacy. 4 years of health and physical education. And you must apply, if you plan on going to college, you do have to fill out the FAFSA, or you complete the opt-out form, which is available in Genesis. Now, this is not something that you guys need to know because your counselors, we do edit your transcript every year to make sure you're in the right classes, but it's also a good idea for you to be aware of your graduation requirements. And the NJ GPA is an assessment that you need to take and pass in order to graduate. So this is a typical senior year schedule. You're going to have your English class, and then where it changes is it depends on what your post-high school plans are. Some of you might take another math. Some of you might take a science. Maybe you'll double up in science. All of this will change based on your individual plans, but you do have to take an English. You do have to take phys ed and health, and then other things will change. If you plan on playing a sport in college, then please fill out scan the QR code and fill out the form so that Ms. Thompson is aware that you plan to play a sport after high school. So we do have some updates to our math options. We now are offering pre-calculus honors, which is really exciting. The prerequisites for that, you do need a teacher recommendation and either an 80 or above in Algebra 2 honors, or a 95 and above in Algebra 2 CP. We also have some other new additions. We have Algebra 2/Trig CP, as well as Algebra 2/Trig honors, and Algebra 2 CP. For English, we have updated, these are not new courses, but there is a change in the course title. So yearbook is now Journalism Workshop, Magazine Writing and Publishing, and newspaper is now Journalism Essentials, News Writing and Reporting. Some of you, a lot of you have chosen this option with our concurrent enrollment with RVCC, TCNJ, and Seton Hall. And this is a great way to earn college credits while you are in your high school courses as a junior or senior. Now there are a lot of courses to choose from, a lot of options. So just refer to this slide as well as the program of studies for the courses that we offer, the costs, and the details of it. Uh, for our math program, um, 3 years of math is required, as we said, to graduate from high school. And everybody will have a different math sequence. Most of you might have Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2 or Algebra 2/Trig, but it does not have to be, it will not follow this exact flow for all of you. It depends on what math you started with as a freshman. But if you plan to take a third or fourth year of math, these are some of the options that we offer. And if you are interested in college, we strongly suggest that you do take a fourth year of math. Computer science. So we have a few computer science offerings. Computer programming 1 and 2. These are both semester courses, as well as our AP Comp Sci A and principles. Now, computer programming 1 is offered during the summer, so that is an option for you to take. We do have a lot of science offerings. Refer to the slide, as well as the program of studies to see each of the prerequisites. And it's important to note that your science level and your math level has to match. So if you're taking an honors science, you do have to be recommended for the honors math. Again, you can check the program of studies for details. We have several world language options. You can see it right here on the slide. So just be aware of the prerequisites for that. But there are a lot of options for you to choose from. At this point in your junior year, you are probably just choosing the next language that you're taking in junior year.
So next, I'm going to go over the guidelines for course placement for English. So each of you are either in English 3 CP, English 3 Honors, or AP Language and Composition. So you'll see here the different choices of the options that you have. So again, this will be based on your teacher's recommendation as well as how you're performing in the class. But for English 3, some of the English 3 CP, some of the common placements for next year could be English 4 CP, English 4 Honors with department approval, or English concurrent, which is through RVCC, which we covered in the previous slide, some of our dual enrollment options. For those of you in English 3 Honors, you'll have the option to go to English 4 Honors, AP Lit, or again, English concurrent. Again, this is all dependent on department approval and teacher recommendation. If you're in AP Lang right now, typically you'll have move up to AP Lit, or again, you do have the option of the concurrent English or English for Honors or CP. So you really have whatever options are recommended or below if you're in AP Lang or in composition. Some of the English electives. So keep in mind before as you're taking a look at this list, some of these electives will only run based on interest. So you'll see there baseball, the Soul of America, creative writing, drama 1, exploring journalism. I'm not going to go through every single one. You see it there. The ones that you see with an asterisk can count towards your visual performing art credit. So going into next year that you still need that requirement for graduation. Something like public speaking and something like drama do count towards that. The other ones that you see here that are not with an asterisk count towards the general 120 credit number, but not towards the specific visual art requirement. As you guys see there as well, public speaking is something offered in the high school during the summer. So it's a good way, if you do want to get that requirement out of the way for senior year, to take it in the summer. Other full year offerings that we have in the English elective department is the journalism classes that now go under a new name, the Journalism Workshop Magazine Writing, which used to be known as Yearbook, and the Journalism Essentials, Newspaper and Reporting, which used to be known as Newspaper. Do keep in mind that the application, those specific electives have application requirements that are due February 5th. And for those of you guys who don't know how to access the applications, that's located on the Program of Studies tab. There's a tab at the top. One of them says Applications. It has all the applications that are needed for the electives as well as the due date. So be sure to be on top of that if you're interested. Some of these social studies electives, I'm not going to run through every name on the list, but you'll see them there. The one with the asterisk that you see here that is very common is the AP Microeconomics and AP Macro. That does meet your literary requirement. I will say that it is a very, very popular elective, especially among rising seniors. So this is something when you put your request down, keep in mind you could meet the requirement and still not potentially get this. So keep in mind, as we've been mentioning earlier, these are requests, not necessarily guarantees into your schedule for next year. And again, some of these courses that you see will ultimately not end up being an option because of lack of interest. So keep that in mind as well. Some of the music options, and again, as rising seniors, you guys are probably well aware of the process if you are, because you're usually or already in these music classes. But for those of you who don't know, there's a QR code that you can scan on the bottom left to get more information. Some of these do require auditions. So please, if you are interested in joining and haven't done so already, keep that in mind as well. Other music electives that are popular: guitar, music technology and applications, music theory. If you're already in those classes and you still want to explore those interests even more, there's advanced level classes that you see listed on the right that you can take as well. So, if you like those electives, keep that in mind. For visual and performing arts, which again, you guys need 5 credits worth. These are the electives that we offer that cover that. You'll see a mix of different things. If you haven't taken any art yet, your counselor will communicate that with you, and that will be something that you guys need to fit into your schedule next year. For business and applied technology courses, again, I'm not going to read through every one of these electives, but this does count towards your career ed elective, which you do need a year of as well. There's many different ways of achieving that. So you'll see a mix of business classes, law, wood tech. So again, same thing I've been saying as the previous slides. If you haven't done anything career-wise yet, you will be having to fit that into your schedule. And again, your counselor will review that with you when they sit down and discuss your elective request as well. Family and consumer science. This is also another way to achieve your career elective if you haven't done so. So fashion design, culinary, and if you've taken those already, on the right you'll see the advanced classes that you can take once you've taken the ones on the left. So again at the bottom you'll see the education and training. That's a very popular class if you want to experience something about learning how to be in a classroom, how to work with younger kids. There is an application component to that one. And as I mentioned earlier, you have to go to the application tab in the program of studies and complete it by the deadline, which is coming up soon. Financial literacy. This is one of the other graduation components. So you can achieve this in a multitude of different ways. You can either take financial literacy for two and a half credits. For those of you uh, who have an IEP, consumer economics, This is again by placement is another option. If not, you have regular economics, and then the AP Micro Macro does count as financial literacy as well. You do have the option to take the course in person at the high school over the summer. That is at a cost. Or if you want to take it online in the summer, you can do that as well through option two. But there's also costs associated with that as well. This is, if you do end up wanting to take it in the summer, again, it is a good way to maybe clear an open spot for yourself senior year. And much like I've been talking about earlier, these are the electives that require applications to be considered. So if you know that you're going to put this down on your interest list, one of the 10, then also know that you're expected to complete the application associated with that. And without having done so, you would not be considered for a spot in the course. So I'm sure we've been waiting to get to this slide for the late arrival or early dismissal. This is a request that you guys can put in during the course request process. Keep in mind that you and your counselor will go over it and see if that's something that does fit on your eventual schedule. Also, keep in mind that this is just purely a request, because if we get to September and there's a class that you need that is only offered period 1 or period 10, you are not necessarily guaranteed to get late arrival or early dismissal. So keep that in mind. And if you do end up getting late arrival or early dismissal, the parent and guardian will need to approve it. So how this works is, once your counselor places you in the class, there will be a form that is sent onto the parent portal in Genesis that your parent has to sign for that, for you guys to be able to have late arrival or early dismissal approved. So the senior outreach internship program, this is a way to get some additional experience outside of the classroom. You can click the link that you see there for more information. The application is due March 21st, so keep that in mind. You have to apply online, and everyone who does apply will be interviewed. This is an after school commitment, so you will see it listed on your schedule. It will not be one of your 10 periods, but it will be something listed on your schedule. It's not for credit. Um, and Miss Rosengrant is the one who runs the program. You can also email her, and actually, if you are interested, I encourage that you reach out to her as soon as possible just to get more information about the process and figure that out. For the independent study, this is something that you guys have the opportunity to utilize as well. Let's say that there's something that we don't offer on the program of studies, or maybe a level of advancement that's not available, but you're still interested in uh, taking, that course or that particular subject area. As long as you find a teacher that's willing to lead the independent study, that might be something that's possible. For more information, you can go click on the link below. There is an application required, and in there it will discuss the process in itself. So if you are interested in that, please check that out. So if there are any questions, we will be running a lunchtime Q&A session. So keep an eye out for an email detailing information on that. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen to this presentation, and we look forward to getting through the scheduling process with you together and working together to make sure that your senior year schedule is one that you enjoy. Thank you.